On her wedding day, the prince hurled Jessie into the abyss. A dry branch caught her, breaking her fall. Dazed, she awoke, screaming for help at the cave's entrance. Only silence answered. The walls were slick, offering no grip as she searched for a way out. A flickering blue light caught her attention across a chasm. She jumped, her injured leg buckling beneath her, nearly sending her into the depths. Fortunately, her chain snagged a crevice, keeping her from falling. With determination, she pulled a dagger from her pocket and clawed her way onto a nearby platform. Fireflies pulsed around her, their bioluminescent slime providing a faint glow. In a moment of ingenuity, she tore her sleeve and stuffed the fireflies inside, creating a makeshift lantern. Nearby, a filthy pool of water lay stagnant and undrinkable, so she resorted to licking the melting ice instead. Suddenly, the ceiling cracked and ice pillars came crashing down. A monstrous roar echoed as it tumbled in after the flames. Jessie quickly dove behind a rock, narrowly escaping its gaze. Her attention was drawn to the wall carvings names and torn dresses of girls who had perished. Sacrifices like her, offered to this beast by the prince. She slumped against the stone, overwhelmed. When she awoke, fireflies danced around her feet. Brushing them off, she noticed her wound had vanished. Pressing one to her arm, she watched in amazement as it healed rapidly. A glimmer of hope ignited within her as she spotted a map etched into the wall, indicating an exit. She carved her name into the stone, gathered the fireflies, and cautiously entered a tunnel. Sunlight sparkled ahead, illuminating crystals all around. In the dirt lay a crown. She tore her skirt to wrap her hands and began to climb. A shadow loomed above as the monster roared. Just in time, she hooked the crown onto a rock as it lunged, barely managing to hold on. Finally, she reached the exit cliff's edge with no way down. Despair washed over her. Hooves pounded in the distance as she waved and shouted. The creature charged forward, its wings flapping fiercely. She ducked and caught sight of a skeleton the mapmaker had not made it out alive. The beast reared up, flames gathering in its throat. There was no escape. Suddenly, a shout pierced the chaos. It was her father's voice. The monster veered away. She stumbled and fell into its den, where 3 dragon carcasses lay alongside a crown. The pieces of the puzzle fell into place. Years ago, the king had slain 3 young dragons, prompting their mother to incinerate everything in her path. In desperation, he had pleaded for mercy, offering his daughters as a sacrifice. A pact was formed. Subsequent kings had betrayed this agreement, sending brides in their place. Now, Jessie was next in line. Her father burst in with soldiers, but the dragon tore through them effortlessly. He unsheathed his sword, undaunted, charging forward to rescue her. Jessie stood frozen, watching as the dragon pinned him down, using him as bait. He shouted for her to remain hidden, prepared to sacrifice himself. The dragon's claw pierced his chest, and he screamed in agony. She ducked behind a rock as the beast searched for her. A soldier stumbled, catching the dragon's attention. They fled, drawing it away. Jessie rushed to her father. As he lay dying, he pressed a rope into her hand, sure means of escape. The dragon roared, crushing the remaining soldiers beneath its weight. It charged at her, and she clutched the rope tightly, climbing upward. Flames licked at her heels as she pulled herself up and out. She mounted her horse and raced toward the sea, but the dragon broke free, roaring in pursuit. She abandoned the horse and hid beneath a rock. The creature set the forest ablaze, deceived by the decoy. The queen, witnessing the flames, realized Jessie was still alive. In a desperate act to appease the beast, she hurled Jessie's sister off a cliff. Upon finding her stepmother, Jessie learned the devastating news. Determined, she turned back to save her sister. Return to the blue cave, create firefly lights, apply sewage to disguise her scent, stacked weapons, and set up a diversion. Seized a sword. The dragon was on alert, aware of her presence. A noise rang. Their trap had been triggered. It lunged toward the sound. She discovered her sister, injured and barely conscious. The dragon turned back, enraged. Jessie concealed her sister and confronted the beast alone. She shouted the truth: the royals had deceived them, sending imposters instead of their own. The dragon was indifferent. Flames erupted. She leaped into the pool, climbed out, and reached for her sword, but it tackled her. With her dagger, she pierced its eye and broke free. Grabbing the sword, she declared she wasn't royal. It caught the scent of royal blood, a prince's deception, a mark on every bride. With no other option, she stabbed its palm and dashed away. She taunted it near a rock. It unleashed fire, engulfing itself in the flames. It howled in agony, collapsing. She approached, explaining the wounds and centuries of betrayal. She spared its life. They were both mere pawns. Using fireflies, she healed its injuries. She rode back alone, The prince was marrying another girl in the hall. Jessie burst in and freed her. She warned the crowd to flee. The queen smirked, unafraid. Suddenly, the dragon crashed through the roof. Jessie walked out as flames consumed the castle. She rode away, the dragon soaring above her new protector.